We're exploring with sisters, and today we're going to explore two small towns in the very north of Norway. The first one is Kirkenes. Kirkenes is located right where the three countries meet, Russia, Finland, and Norway. And the second one is Vardo. We've been enjoying this Havila voyage. We're at the halfway point now. We're at the most northern part of our voyage before we make the turn south after our visit to Kirkenes. When they say Kirkenes is a small town, they were not kidding. Although our boat did offer several excursions, none of them really fit what we wanted to do, so we decided to head off on foot. We left the port and headed down some walkways and through some neighborhoods to town, and I wanted to show you just a few of the quirky things that we passed along our way. I did find Kirkenes quite quirky. This house had a model ship on the side of it, displayed in a glass window, and this bear carving was missing a few arms. We also passed an entrance to one of the largest bomb shelters built in this area during World War II. It was constructed in 1941. Formal tours are offered from the Snow Motel just outside of Kirkenes. Kirkenes really just has one street that has some shops in it and some restaurants, and then this huge metal snow crab sculpture. There were some cute husky dogs in one of the stores that we went in. We find it difficult to find something to snack on if we can't read the language. I also thought it was intriguing that they had a lottery system here, but I don't think I've seen that so far on this trip. Once we purchased our items, we headed over to explore the town and ended up in this courtyard-style park. And around the park and the perimeter, they had historical information about the city and the founders of the city. And of course, they had a big snow crab again right in the center. They had various little things to entertain kids, and I guess Cindy qualified as a kid. She was quite entertained with the trampoline, and also she gave it a try on the tightrope walk. I gave it a try too, but I was horrible at this. There was a statue right in the town called War Mother's Monument. It was erected in 1994, and it wanted to emphasize the role that women played during the war, keeping their families safe and fed. It was a beautiful statue. The weather was just ideal for walking around, and just a little bit more information on Kirkenes. I mentioned it's just a few miles away from the Russian border, and the town only has around 4,000 people. Most of the industry is from snow crabs and fishing in general, just like the rest of Norway, because it is located 250 miles north of the Arctic Circle. It experiences the midnight sun and the polar nights. We enjoyed walking around, but I would recommend scheduling an excursion if you are here visiting with your cruise ship in Kirkenes. Just a short time later, we made a stop in another small town called Vardo. Vardo's name means Wolf Island. It is the easternmost town in Norway. It had a really quaint harbor that we enjoyed walking around and checking out the views of back into our boat and the harbor itself. Really lovely little area. And then we made our way over to the famous fortress right in the center of town. Vardhus Fortress is quite interesting. It's shaped like an octagonal star, and there has been a fortress at this site since the 1300s. The buildings have the traditional Norwegian sod roofs. And since the fortress was constructed in the 1300s, it actually never saw any action until the First World War. They're quite proud that during World War II, they held the Norwegian flag the longest of any fortress. Now, the fortress that you're seeing today was basically constructed in 1734 to 1738, and the moat was added in the 1700s as well. This site is no longer an active fortress, but it is a ceremonial type of place and is visited quite often and has a lot of history for the Norwegians. We didn't have a lot of time in Vardhus, but we did enjoy the fortress. On our way back to the boat, we passed this really cute puffin. As I mentioned, we're in day 6 of our 12-day voyage with Havila Voyages, and now we will be heading south, and it's just so amazing to be this far north, especially since Cindy and I were born and raised in Florida. We are a long way from home. Exploring with Sisters really does appreciate you watching our videos. We hope that you subscribe to our channel and share it with others. We hope you're enjoying Norway as much as we are.